So does this show make you want to still get married?
Girl, yes, I am a wife. I am not no streetwalker. And I'm upset I'm still in the street. Like, what's going on?
Why are you still in the streets?
Because
I know your DMs are full. Are you just not
not
wanting
full of
to
the
look?
right fertilization. There's not the right gas. Okay. I take premium. It's getting very much regular unleaded. Thank you.
What type of man is Tamar
A good
attracted
man.
to? What
That's
does
it.
that mean anymore?
A good. Let's start there. You find that, and then we can go down.
She's like, it's tough out here. Really?
Yeah.
Just a good man.
Start with the good man.
You gonna sit there and say Toni Braxton?
Toni Braxton, I got you
Toni
on the phone.
Braxton. No, Toni Braxton ain't never had your back.
Got Toni Braxton.
I want to be. I want it on
No,
record.
I wanna be-
You want to
no.
say I don't have your back?
You didn't have my back when they.
With a heavyweight, don't put me, Tamar. Don't with Toni.
Ooh, child. The Braxton sisters are fighting, and this family drama is getting messier by the minute. Miss Toni Braxton appears to have completely checked out of Tamar's schoolyard circus and what some people see as crocodile tears. She seems done pretending that everything is fine between them. I know Evelyn Braxton has to be somewhere shaking her head at all of this. The sisters have reportedly unfollowed each other, and baby, Toni allegedly doesn't want Tamar anywhere near her or her husband, Birdman, after Tamar reportedly made a move on him, despite knowing that he was married to her sister.
And child, even Birdman is speaking up about the alleged situation involving Tamar. Girl, the Kardashians have nothing on the Braxtons when it comes to family drama involving the same men. Now, we've heard there was some back and forth between the sisters over who was connected to Birdman first, and apparently, Tamar may have still been salty about Birdman choosing Toni over her. Considering Tamar's history of keeping conflicts alive and defending her side of the story, it's easy to understand why Toni might finally want everything laid out on the table.
Okay, so Toni Braxton recently posted pictures celebrating 2 years of what she described as marital bliss with her husband, Birdman. This marked one of the first times she had shared anything publicly about the ceremony, and she looked absolutely stunning in those photos. But still, it was kind of strange that she didn't post any pictures featuring the man of the hour. Even more noticeable was the fact that her family was nowhere to be seen in the comments celebrating the milestone with her.
Especially Tamar, considering she once took credit for introducing Toni to Birdman and repeatedly described herself as one of their biggest cheerleaders. Last year, Birdman participated in the Cash Money vs. Master P battle, and while that moment was certainly one for the books, what really caught people's attention was Tamar buzzing around him like a bee. She was rubbing his head, fixing his brows, handing him water to keep him hydrated, and generally fawning all over him. Child, she was doing entirely too much for a sister-in-law, and people definitely noticed. Meanwhile, Toni, the actual wife, was sitting at home and seemingly minding her own business. Of course, Tamar quickly came online to defend herself. She posted a video showing herself on a call with Toni while discussing the event, and she went on record claiming that she had been their biggest cheerleader ever since she introduced the two of them. And all of that only added another layer to an already complicated family situation.
I introduced
Yeah, you introduced.
Toni and Brian, and he was very serious about her.
Right.
From day one.
People were so shocked, I want to say, when they found that out. It was like, it's
Yeah.
just mad random. Even to this day, it's still like.
It's not random.
But the reports child. The Braxton sisters are fighting, and this family drama is getting messier by the minute. Miss Toni Braxton appears to have completely checked out of Tamar's schoolyard circus and what some people see as crocodile tears. She seems done pretending that everything is fine between them. I know Evelyn Braxton has to be somewhere shaking her head at all of this. The sisters have reportedly unfollowed each other, and baby, Toni allegedly doesn't want Tamar anywhere near her or her husband, Birdman, after Tamar reportedly made a move on him, despite knowing that he was married to her sister. And child, even Birdman is speaking up about the alleged situation involving Tamar. Girl, the Kardashians have nothing on the Braxtons when it comes to family drama involving the same men. Now, we've heard there was some back and forth between the sisters over who was connected to Birdman first, and apparently, Tamar may have still been salty about Birdman choosing Toni over her. Considering Tamar's history of keeping conflicts alive and defending her side of the story, it's easy to understand why Toni might finally want everything laid out on the table. But the reports coming out paint a completely different picture. According to Toni, there was apparently much more to the story than Tamar was letting people believe. Tamar did introduce Toni and Birdman back in the early 2000s, but what she allegedly failed to mention was that she and Birdman were dating around the same time. Tamar was reportedly looking for a major opportunity and even came close to being signed to Cash Money Records. She wasn't just interested in gaining quick access to the resources that could help her reach Toni's level of success. Tamar also wanted to live a lavish lifestyle, enjoy the perks that came with being connected, and be treated like a star. And at the time, she allegedly saw Birdman as the person who could unlock all of that for her. However, after Birdman met Toni, his attitude toward Tamar reportedly changed completely. Tamar was allegedly embarrassed and hurt when she realized that Birdman was much more interested in pursuing Toni. Even the fact that Toni was married to Carrie Lewis at the time apparently wasn't enough to make Birdman lose interest in her. Since Toni was already a massive star when Tamar was beginning her own solo career, Tamar reportedly felt like she had spent years living in her older sister's shadow. Everything in the family seemed to revolve around Toni, from her career success to her status in the entertainment industry. So, when Birdman also chose Toni, Tamar may have viewed it as yet another thing she had lost to her sister. Toni and Birdman quickly developed a close friendship, and while Toni has maintained that nothing romantic happened between them until after her divorce in 2013, she never denied that Birdman remained heavily involved in her life. This became especially significant after Toni filed for bankruptcy for the second time and was later diagnosed with lupus, as Birdman was reportedly there for her during some of those difficult chapters.
You know, me and him have been friends for 16 years.
I know you had a song like 15 years ago,
yeah,
too,
we've
right?
been like besties for a long time.
People always say that. But
No, this is real. Like, no cross the line.
besties, like you always kept in touch and you always talked.
We would keep in touch.
To
She would
keep
come see me
Tamar
when I
from
had my
becoming
plays,
resentful
when
toward
I-
her sister,
When I had my baby
Toni
shower, we would
reportedly
come.
encouraged
Like,
her to
we were
give
really
Vince Herbert a
friends.
chance. Vince was Toni's manager at the time and was also known for discovering Lady Gaga, so Toni genuinely believed the two of them could be a great match. Tamar was reportedly hesitant in the beginning, but because her sister encouraged the relationship and Vince had already proven that he could help take her career to another level, she eventually agreed. The two eventually got married after Vince became an executive at Sony following Lady Gaga's success. However, Toni could not have been more wrong about how their relationship would turn out. There's no denying that Vince played a major role in Tamar's career because his industry connections opened several important doors for her. He helped her land opportunities to tour with John Legend and eventually helped her secure a spot on The Real, giving her a platform outside of her sister's shadow. Vince also pushed Braxton family values as a way for Tamar to gain more visibility and establish herself independently from Toni's fame. And, to be fair, the strategy worked. Tamar became a recognizable personality in her own right, and the show helped introduce her to an even larger audience. But outside of the career benefits, their relationship was reportedly toxic both on and off camera. From Tamar's perspective, the promises Toni made about Vince helping her career and being the perfect partner apparently didn't turn out the way she expected. She reportedly felt that instead of helping her grow, Vince was sometimes doing more to hold her career back and even sabotaging certain opportunities. There were also serious allegations surrounding their marriage. Reports and public claims alleged that Vince became physically abusive toward Tamar, to the point that her mother, Evelyn Braxton, was reportedly deeply concerned that her daughter could suffer even more serious harm. Those allegations painted a disturbing picture of what was happening behind closed doors. Vince, meanwhile, reportedly felt that Tamar was extremely difficult to manage and that her behavior was costing him other professional opportunities. It was already well known that Tamar had an incredible voice, but she also developed a reputation for having a strong personality and getting into conflicts when things didn't go her way. That made managing her a much bigger challenge than simply handling her career. Vince reportedly tried to shield Tamar from criticism, especially during her time on The Real, because he knew she wasn't always willing to hear what other people had to say about her. At the same time, he allegedly lost opportunities to manage Toni because Tamar was constantly trying to establish herself and compete with her sister, leaving Vince caught directly in the middle of the family tension. In the end, Vince was essentially managing an artist whose public conflicts and personal disputes allegedly made it harder to secure new opportunities. Tamar was accused of burning bridges throughout the industry, and because Vince was also her husband, those controversies inevitably reflected back on him. Instead of being the dream partnership Toni imagined, their marriage became a complicated situation that affected both Tamar's career and Vince's reputation.
At the 11th hour.
Hard to manage.
No. Vince said that to hurt me. Because he knows that's not true. I have seen his artists go the hell off. Okay? I don't do that.
You don't want to listen to me. You get mad at my ideas. That's very disrespectful. That's very rude.
I think Vince went to, I'm going to protect my brand mode. Because I'm not going to sit up here and make up no lies about nobody. Because I hate when people make up lies about me. Like, I'm not going to sit at home and strategize what the hell I'm getting ready to say when I go to work in front of a camera. Like, that doesn't happen. I mean, my mouth has gotten me in trouble on several occasions to prove that.
So
By the time their marriage ended, both Tamar and Vince were reportedly carrying resentment toward each other. Tamar was also said to be bitter toward Toni because, in her mind, none of this would have happened if Toni had never encouraged the relationship in the first place. Tamar was left dealing with the emotional baggage from the marriage while watching her sister maintain her relevance and longevity in the entertainment industry, all while being supported by Birdman. And that was reportedly the exact kind of security and lifestyle Tamar had wanted for herself. Word is, this is part of the reason there has been so much bad blood between Toni and Tamar. Tamar allegedly began feeling as though her sister had taken the life that should have been hers. She reportedly believed that if she had stayed with Birdman, she could have been enjoying the same financial stability, attention, and support that Toni eventually received, even if she had remained behind the scenes. And as much as Toni tried to take the high road and act like everything was fine, there was apparently only so much she could tolerate once Tamar started presenting herself as the victim. Tamar has often been accused of throwing stones and hiding her hands, especially when people call her out for behavior that could be viewed as inappropriate toward Birdman. The thing is, Toni was reportedly fine with Birdman and Tamar maintaining a friendship because they had known each other before Toni and Birdman became a couple. Tamar also insisted that she had moved past the situation and had no lingering feelings about it. Toni apparently believed her and even felt like she needed to make things up to her sister, so she continued supporting Tamar's decisions and trying to be there for her. But according to the reports, Tamar's actions afterward told a very different story. Word is that Tamar quietly started competing with Toni for Birdman's attention, then would allegedly play the victim whenever anyone noticed what was happening. Tamar reportedly believed she was justified and even argued that Toni had never done enough to support her as a sister. However, Tamar's behavior toward Birdman during the Versus battle was allegedly the final straw for Toni. Tamar knows how easily she can stir up controversy, and there was no way she could have been completely unaware that being overly affectionate and comfortable with Birdman would attract attention and create comparisons between the sisters. Yet, she allegedly did it anyway. To make matters even more complicated, Tamar reportedly continued reminding people that she and Birdman had been involved before Toni. But once the internet began siding with Toni and calling Tamar out, the situation became even more uncomfortable. What might have once been brushed off as harmless family tensions suddenly looked much more serious to outsiders. Now, the sisters are reportedly in an extremely difficult position because maintaining a healthy relationship becomes much harder when romantic partners are involved. It's one thing for siblings to disagree over careers, money, or personal decisions, but when one sister feels that the other wants her husband and believes she is living the life that should have belonged to her, those wounds can run much deeper. And get this, after getting together with Birdman, he reportedly revealed even more about the alleged drama involving Tamar. According to those claims, Tamar was extremely persistent about getting Birdman to help fund the lifestyle she wanted, and was allegedly willing to go to great lengths to make that happen. Whether every detail is true or not, the allegations only added more fuel to an already complicated family feud. And this may explain why Toni has seemingly created more distance between herself, Tamar, and even other members of the family. Tamar is certainly no stranger to burned bridges, especially when she feels someone has betrayed her or treated her unfairly. But the Braxton sisters already have enough unresolved issues between them, and this situation could make repairing their relationship even more difficult. At the end of the day, disagreements between siblings can sometimes be worked through, but things become much harder to repair when spouses, old relationships, and years of resentment are involved. So, what do you guys think? Should Toni and Tamar try to find some middle ground and repair their relationship? Or is it completely understandable for Toni to love her sister from a distance? Sound off in the comments and make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more celebrity drama. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, baddies.